Everybody, this is John Ward. December 1984 kicks off with a gorgeous football afternoon in Nashville, Tennessee. Set to kick off the season finale between Tennessee and Vanderbilt. The Commodores, coached by George McIntyre, come into this game with a record of 5 wins and 5 losses. A chance to have a better than 500 season and to even their Southeastern Conference mark. Tennessee, which last week accepted a bid to the Sun Bowl December the 22nd, will be seeking its 7th win of the year. And also, the Volunteers of Coach Johnny Majors will be trying to wrap up a 500 year in the Southeastern Conference. It is a traditional game. Everybody knows that. And a full stadium will be on hand to see this football game. We hope you'll be enjoying the play-by-play of Tennessee versus Vanderbilt. Coming up in just 1 minute. Has won the opening toss, deferred its decision until the commencement of the second half, and so Vanderbilt with the option elects to receive. Tennessee in white with orange numerals, Vanderbilt in black with gold numerals trimming the white, and it will be Vanderbilt. Witherspoon returning the kickoff and gets out for Vanderbilt's possession at the 26-yard line. Kenny Witherspoon from Nashville returning, and at quarterback starting for the injured Kurt Page, number 11, is Mark Ratcher, a sophomore from Richfield, Ohio. Scott in motion. Woods. Good effort. Jim Duncan got there to turn him wide or force him wide, and then 45 Zander, 29 Clark, 42 Kofer. A second look. Carl Woods. He's a sophomore from Gallatin. There you see him being forced wide by Duncan. And Tennessee covers it well, and Vince Clark actually is there initially on the stop. 81 Pop is the tight end shifting for Vandy. 0-0 the score. AstroTurf surface. Woods again, 45 Zander, the senior from Mendham, New Jersey. He leads Tennessee defensively with 154 stops in his senior year. From the end zone, you can just see Zander playing it all the way along the line and fills the hole and makes the stop. Third down, Vanderbilt. Tennessee going defensively with McKenzie, Brown, Duncan, the tackle, Dale Jones outside, Robbie Scott, the middle guard, Zander and Kofer. That's Scott in motion. And the completion is to Keith Edwards. He leads the Southeastern Conference in the number of receptions. That's his 58th this year. Tony Simmons, 97, now in the lineup for Tennessee. But the catch is made by Keith Edwards, and the Commodores have it first down. No score, Tennessee and Vanderbilt. For the Commodores up front, Monaco, Wolford, Drawley, Fletcher, Denson, the blocking 5. Woods slashes forward, diving past the 40-yard line, as you see. As Vanderbilt and Tennessee are 0-0. Mark the ball at the 41-yard line. Out over the ball is Jim Drawley, a senior. Ratcher, a sophomore quarterback. Woods. Nice move. Woods breaking it, cutting back, and is knocked out of bounds by Tennessee's Clark. He might have stepped out of bounds further back upfield. We'll wait till the officials line it up. Brilliant move in the corner by Carl Woods. And out in front blocking is Edwards. Zander controlled on the outside, and there he stepped out of bounds back upfield. Continues to dash down the far sideline. There's Clark forcing him out of bounds, but as the official says, he was out of bounds back up at the Tennessee 45-yard line, and Vanderbilt moving with the ball. In the I formation, Chuck Scott in motion. Woods comes driving up the middle. Zander 45, 51 is Reggie McKenzie, 31 is Duncan, 20 is Benton, 29 Clark. Gain on the play right at, 2 yards. Second down, 8, 0-0 score. Ratcher. Pass. Well, it was deflected, I think, at the line of scrimmage. Diving after the possible interception was Kofer. But I think one of the Volunteer interior linemen powering through there got a hand on the ball. It is incomplete. Let's take a second look. 65 Scott. 51 for Tennessee defensively. Well, I still can't see. And there you see Kofer with a lunging effort for the interception. Could not contain the ball. So it'll be third down. Ratcher. Pass. Incomplete again. And we'll see right now. There's time out on the field with the score. Tennessee nothing, Vanderbilt nothing. After an exchange of punts, we pick it up with Tennessee in possession as Robinson gives to Johnny Jones. And Jones is stacked up at the line of scrimmage. Defensively for Vanderbilt, 4-3 defense basically. Watson, Wade, Jordan, Wyndham up front. Holt alternates with Fitz, McCoy, Cartwright linebackers. A second look. And the man coming through is number 36, as you see, making the fine play for Vanderbilt defensively. That's Watson. Cornerbacks, Sykes and Anderson. Safeties, Young and Johnson. Tennessee, second down. 10 yards to go. Robinson. Pass. Complete. That Swanson makes the catch. Immediately drilled by the defender, Sykes. But it appears the junior from San Bernardino, California, picked up just enough of the first down. A second look. I think that was McKenzie or perhaps Hibbett dropping off to make the protecting block for Robinson. The pass is complete to Eric Swanson, who has now caught 16 passes for 142 yards and 1 touchdown this year. First and 10, Tennessee. 0-0 the score at Vanderbilt Stadium, Dudley Field in Nashville. I formation. Wilson. Good effort, Wilson. Grinding it out. The freshman for Tennessee, who is averaging 5.4 yards per carry, 32 carries, 173 yards. And check the blocking right up front. Fine effort on the corner. I think that was either Douglas or Wilkerson on the corner. Tennessee moving. And it was Wilkerson blocking, opening up the hole, and there comes the knifing Charles Wilson for a gain of 9. Waist down, perhaps. Second down short. Robinson, pass, complete. Eichholz. And Eichholz rips it on down for a first down, 10 to go. 12-yard gain. Robinson to 159-pound Bill Eichholz, a senior from Knoxville. He's pounded down first by Sykes, and then trailing was Cartwright. From ground level, good power by Eichholz, and Tennessee has it first down as the ball is moved down, as you see, to the 22-yard line of the Commodores. 0-0 the score. Robinson slips and falls after a gain of right at 6 yards. Tennessee in the offensive line, a lot of people will play in the game. Smith, Upton, Galbraith, Mayo, slightly injured, McKenzie, Hibbett, Hurt, Bruin, Wilkerson, Douglas. There you see the feet just slip out from under. The lanky 6'3" quarterback from Tallahassee, Florida, Robinson, who has rushed 69 times for 121 yards this year to the moment. Tennessee nothing, Vanderbilt nothing. Nearing the end of the first quarter at Nashville. Big hole up the middle on a grinding drive comes William Howard. Good blocking on the trap. 70 is Upton. 88 McGee into your picture. 87 Clink Scales, who's back in service after missing 3 games with injuries. 50 is Hibbett. 70 is Upton, making the hole. And sauntering through for a first down goes Howard. First down, goal to go for Tennessee. 0-0 the score. Jones back at tailback for Tennessee. Robinson sees a shift in the defense and changes the play. Robinson in trouble. Pass is incomplete. It was intended for McGee. Defending Vanderbilt bats the ball down at the goal line, and it will become second down and goal to go. Hands up from Watson. And defending for Vanderbilt was Kermit Sykes, a junior from Lexington, Kentucky. Second and goal. 0-0 the score. Vanderbilt shifting its defense. Everybody up on the line. Could be a blitz. Here everybody comes. Here's Robinson in trouble. Sacked. 99 gets credit. Carl Jordan, his 5th sack of the year. And Vanderbilt defensively maneuvering well. Here you'll see, breaking free, the senior from Huntsville, Jordan, knocking Robinson down. There's time out on the field with the score. Tennessee nothing, Vanderbilt nothing. There's no score in this game. Tennessee has it deep in Vandy territory. 3rd down. Now moving toward the south end of the field. Draw, Jones, and Vanderbilt guesses absolutely perfectly. 99 is Carl Jordan. And it is he, and there you see Manuel Young really making, well, it's Manuel Young making the play all the way. Manuel Young, 32, the senior from Columbia, who leads his team in tackles this year with 96. So Tennessee has it 4th down, and here's Fuad Reves to attempt the field goal. It will be a 37-yard attempt, and it is good. Reves now has kicked his 19th field goal of the year. He's 19 of 21. And to kick off will be the senior, originally from the country of Columbia, then Miami, then Tennessee. And what a career he has had. He's set all kinds of records. Kickoff receive. This is the freshman. And this is Tennessee 39. That's Welsh. Who else? And also might have been Benton downfield covering as the reception of the kickoff by Crawford returns the ball right about to the 16-yard line. Pass is complete. That's Scott. And Scott comes on forward. He is second only to Keith Edwards in total number of receptions in the conference. That's his 48th catch of the year. Has 7 touchdowns. Ratcher, Scott runs precise routes, knows what to do when he gets the football. And it will be a 1st down for Vanderbilt. 23-yard gain on that play. Ratcher to Scott. Vandy trails by 3. Ratcher, plenty of time. Complete. Fuller running a hook route, and he's got another 1st down as Vanderbilt, for 2 successive 1st downs, goes to the air. That's what the Commodores like to do, put the ball in the air. They average 39 passes a game, 32 rushes. And there's Fuller hugging along that sideline, the official right on top of the play. And then Fuller turns and carries forward for the gain of 13 yards. First down number 6 for the Commodores, trailing 3-0. Crawford in there as a running back. This is Crawford cutting to the left side. Inside fumble. Tennessee has recovered the football. The freshman, Everett Crawford, from Huntsville, Alabama, is popped, and we'll try to see who makes the hit. There's Crawford. Cuts back to the inside 45. Zander really primarily responsible for shaking the ball free. And then the Volunteers trail. There's time out on the field with the score. Tennessee 3, Vanderbilt nothing. Tennessee unable to move with the fumble, and into the game comes Bob Garman. First punt out of bounds at the Vanderbilt 6-yard line. Tennessee leading 3-0. In motion, Edwards. Ratcher back to throw, being pressured. Ratcher is going to be sacked. Safety. Richard Cooper, freshman, Memphis, Tennessee, number 77. On top of Ratcher. Here you'll see the rush. They've actually got a double team on Cooper. He beats them. He grabs Ratcher, and Ratcher is wrenched to the end zone turf, and Tennessee tacks on 2 more points. The Volunteer fans, wherever Tennessee plays, are there, and certainly in Nashville. Tennessee fans on hand as the Volunteers now lead 5-0, and that sets up the free kick. The nation's number 1 punter, Anderson, who's averaging 47 yards a punt, will kick this one from the 20-yard line. Vanderbilt trailing Tennessee now 5-0. punt. Oh, a brilliant, long, spiraling punt. That's Kramer just barely staying in bounds. And the freshman returning back upfield and is belted out of bounds. Andre Kramer returns the free punt to give Tennessee possession. First down and 10 to go at the Volunteer 38-yard line. A return of right at 19 yards. So Tennessee to the line. Jones sweeping the right side. Gets to the corner. Gets inside and fights forward for a gain of 5 yards. Jones now 6 carries, 12 yards in the game. It's been tough going inside. And for the first time, the Volunteers try the sweep. And on first down, Jones picks up 5. Second down and 5. The score is 5-0, Tennessee. Robinson against the 4-man front. I formation. Option pitch. Jones at the corner. Slowed, breaks free, twists, turns, pops open. Johnny Jones, 35, 25, 15, 10, 5. Give him 6. Touchdown, Johnny Jones. Robinson the pitch. Jones. That's McKenzie, 52, and this is Jones exploding for 57 yards. Tennessee leads 11-0 as the Vols, after, you might say, Garman's out-of-bounds punt has turned into an 8-point play, possibly 9, as here's Reveiz to attempt the extra point. Snapping Farmer, holding Sells, kicking Reveiz, and it's up, and it is perfect. So Tennessee went up 3-0. Then the safety is Richard Cooper got to Ratcher in the end zone, made it 5-0. The free kick returned by Kramer. Johnny Jones for 5, Jones for 57, and the TD. And now Tennessee leads by a score of 12-0 as Johnny Jones in 7 carries has gone 69 yards. And let's take another look from the end zone. McKenzie, 52, there's the block, but it was Jones with just a sensational spin. 360 on the corner, and then once he saw daylight, like all great backs, he accelerates, and he goes racing 57 yards for the score. 12-0 Tennessee. And it will be Reveiz kicking off. Second quarter of the game, and what a day it is. A beautiful, beautiful December 1. As here comes Fuad Reveiz, skying the end over end. What a beautiful camera work. Taken by Witherspoon. Fumble, scramble, pops out of bounds, and Vanderbilt will have the ball as Tennessee was unable to get control of it. Witherspoon returning. And now the Commodores behind 12-0. A second look at the camera work. At the return, and at the hit, and that's a 50, and I didn't get both numerals, so we'll just say Tennesseans shook the ball loose. Now here's Woods. Good effort by Woods on the corner, and like Tennessee has done twice before, when he gets to the far side, he loses his footing, slips and falls. Good effort by Woods, who was almost dumped for a loss. McKenzie was battling him, but Woods turns the corner. Now in 12 carries, he's gained 53 yards. Second down and 4 for Vandy. Woods, Tennessee strings it. That's Clark. And now Tennessee fills the void, and there's no gain on the play. Excellent defense by Tennessee. 54, Dale Jones. 22, that's Charles Davis. To the sideline, ground level. Woods trying to find a little opening. And Zander, who else, along with Jones. And it will be third down. Vandy trails 12-0. Mark Ratcher has gone all the way. Kurt Page has not played. He practiced, but has not seen service. Here's the pass complete. And it is caught just in bounds by Scott. Chuck Scott, as we'll take a second look at this effort on the sideline. He must have 1 foot in bounds with possession. he had 1 foot in bounds with possession. First down, Vanderbilt. Ratcher, Woods, and Woods dives for a gain on the play of right at 4 yards. Robbie Scott in the middle for Tennessee. 12-0, second down, 6 Vanderbilt. In the background, you can see the play clock, 25 seconds. Ratcher surveying the assignment and the alignment. Back to throw. Ratcher. It is caught. Woods. Jones catches from behind. Ropes him down. Gain on the play of 5 yards. And let's see what Vanderbilt will do. Third down. As we take another look at Woods making the catch and at Jones making the catch from behind. The ball's on top, 12-0. And you see what exactly Vanderbilt has to do. It's third down and that much to go, about a yard. Commodores trailing by 12 points. Edwards, nothing. That's Dale Jones from his outside linebacking position, and Reggie McKenzie from the other side. And that's how much Vanderbilt has to go. So it's fourth down, and Vanderbilt trailing 12-0 near midfield. Sends the punter in. An unusual alignment. Tennessee asks for a timeout. And now Vanderbilt stays with the punter, Anderson. Snap. Punt is away. Kramer waits for a fair catch. Then he's going to let the ball bounce. And it is, oh, it's into the end zone. Vanderbilt had a shot at downing the ball up near the 5. But it just got away and rolls on in. And so Tennessee, fortunate certainly there, will have it first and 10 at the 20. The score is 12-0. Jones going wide again. 20, 25. Jones struggling for what appears to be a first down. The all-time career rushing leader at the University of Tennessee, Johnny Jones, who went over 1,000 yards last year. And this will be B.B. Cooper carrying this time forward, and he has the first down. Jones just a hair short. B.B. Cooper. So we'll take a second look at the senior from Huntsville at 5'6". Twisted down, but not until he negotiates the necessary yardage for the first and 10. The 10th first down for Tennessee in the game. The Volunteers leading 12-0. Jones tries the middle, not much there. 52 was waiting, and he makes the stop for Vanderbilt. And that will make it for Tennessee second down. The pass is complete. Tim McGee, the tackle on the preceding play made by sophomore Mac McCarroll for Vandy, who's in there as a linebacker. Let's take a second look at Robinson looking for McGee. Good protection, Upton up front. McGee in the crease between 2 defenders. McGee needs 8 catches in this game to pass Larry Sievers for the all-time record of the number of catches in a single season. Play action. Robinson. The pass, it's complete. That's Eric Swanson. McGee has caught 44 passes coming into this game. He needs 52 for a new record. Swanson, who came in with 15 catches, now has 2 in this game. Robinson rifles. Swanson bumped out of bounds, but Tennessee has another first down. That pass play for the Vols, good for 16 yards, as was the preceding pass from Robinson to McGee. First and 10 Tennessee at the Vanderbilt 34-yard line. Banging the right side comes Johnny Jones. Picking up right at 4 yards, it'll be second down and 6. Tennessee leads 12-0, second quarter, moving deeper and deeper into Vanderbilt territory. Robinson, pressured. Pass, complete. The catch is made by William Howard. He's shoved out of bounds after making the reception for a gain of 6 yards, and it will be close to a first down. Howard, a freshman from Lima, Ohio. That's his 22nd catch of the year. There's a penalty marker down on the play. In the backfield for Tennessee, Cooper has made 4 catches. Howard now 22 for the year. Jones 13. Charles Wilson 7. An inadvertent flag. And Coach George McIntyre, the very successful head coach at Vanderbilt, a bit dismayed over the fact that Tennessee will get the ball where the catch was made, and it's first down. And here's the all-out blitz, and Robinson is sacked. The safety blitz. And you saw racing through to nail him the defender Armando Fitz for Vandy. Robinson never had a chance. He protects the ball, but he's thrown for a loss on the sack by Fitz. That's his first sack of the year. That's how much time there is left in the first half. In case you didn't see it, 53 seconds. A loss of 9, Tennessee second down, and 19 yards to go, leading 12-0. Robinson, pressured again. Runs out of the pocket, runs past the line, and is belted at the 29-yard line. He got a couple of yards on the play, but Tennessee is still far short of the first down. And the Vols will let the scoreboard clock count some time. 3rd and 17. Tennessee up 12-0. Robinson being blitzed again. Throws. It is incomplete. A good effort by Tim Hendricks, the tight end, sophomore, DeSoto, Texas. But Hendricks unable to hold on to the ball, and Robinson was fortunate to rifle the pass. And now here's Revés to attempt the field goal. Tennessee used a timeout to stop the clock, and then Vanderbilt stops the clock itself, or actually tries to ice Revés a little bit. Field goal attempt is up. It is no good. So Revés misses. We'll be back with halftime comments in just 1 minute. Tennessee won the toss at the beginning of the game, deferred the decision until the second half begins, which is happening right now, and so Tennessee will receive as Anderson will be kicking off. This is John Ward sending the action from Nashville, as here's the kick by Anderson, long, high end over end, and it will be Panuska letting the ball sail on through the end zone. It bounces beyond the end line, and so Tennessee will pick up possession, 1st and 10 at the 30. First down 10, Tennessee leading 12-0. Second half just beginning as the Vols come to the line. I formation, Cooper and Jones the running backs. Cooper blocking, Jones running. And it's Jones powering his way, going wide for very, very close to a first down yardage. From the 30 out to the 39.5, and spotting the ball, we'll just wait and see if it reaches the 40. Here's the pitch. You'll see Cooper out in front. Jones, now look at the power and the angle and the body lean of one of the great running backs in America, Johnny Jones. First down, Tennessee. B.B. Cooper pounds the left side, got a yard. So he's carried the ball twice for 5 yards in this game. Throughout the year, the senior now has carried the ball 16 times, 63 yards. Jones, he's banged. Legs still churning. But Jones got only 2 yards on the play, and now Tennessee leading 12-0, facing a stiffening Vanderbilt defense. We'll have it 3rd down. 3rd down and 7. Robinson off play action. Rolls, looks, the pass, complete. That's Swanson. What a grab. Swanson tight-roping the far sideline, pulls it down and is shoved out of bounds, but he ran the pattern properly, and Tennessee has it 1st down, 10 to go. Robinson, Swanson right there, and look, he got that foot down. Well, he actually got both feet down in bounds before he shoved out of bounds by Anderson. Ground level. Back upstairs. Tennessee running. Jones. Steve McCoy, the middle linebacker, was there first. Then he gets a lot of help, and Jones, through the right side of the line, gets only 2 yards. And so Jones is 1 yard short of another 100-yard gain. 13 carries, 99 yards for the senior. And Tennessee will have it. Robinson, it's complete. Jeff Smith, 11 yards on the pickup. So Smith now in 26 catches has 416 yards this year. There's the catch. He's tackled, but he's got a first down. The 17th for Tennessee in the game. 12-0 Tennessee leading, marching with the ball in Vanderbilt territory. Jones. On the tackle is Steve McCoy. No gain on the play by Johnny Jones, so it stays at the 30-yard line. Well, the officials, I think, are going... Well, the official score gives him 1 yard on the play, so Jones reaches 100 yards on that run. Barely a yard. Robinson. Jones. 2 more yards this time, tacking on to his earlier run, so now in 15 carries, he has 102 yards. And Tennessee is faced with another 3rd down and long. A second look. Good defensive effort that time, Vanderbilt. Steve Wade. 3rd and long, Tennessee leading 12-0. 3rd quarter of the game. Robinson. First down effort by Tony Robinson. Robinson has a chance to become the all-time total yardage leader in a single season for Tennessee. His ability to run is one of the reasons. Look at this. Beautiful cutback. He's caught and rolled down by the trailing Wade, but he was able to pick up the first down. And Tennessee will have it 1st and 10 at the 19-yard line. Two wideouts left, one right for Tennessee in the I formation. Tight end to the right, actually. Rolling back. There's Robinson in trouble. Dances free. Looks into the end zone. Give him 6. Touchdown, Tim McGee. Outstanding effort, Tony Robinson. Eluding the rush, throwing the ball, and McGee is wide open in the end zone. Tim McGee getting deep and free and making the catch. And here will be Reves to attempt the extra point, which is up, and it is good. There's time out on the field with a score, Tennessee 19, Vanderbilt nothing. Tennessee's defense stops Vanderbilt. The Volunteers back on offense once more. Starting at the 33, the handoff goes to B.B. Cooper on what was 1st down and 11. And Cooper rambles for 3 yards. And so Tennessee has it 3rd down 8. There's Cooper. And there's Vanderbilt in the person from the outside of Armando Fitz. Tennessee leading by a score of 19-0. At the 36-yard line, it's 3rd down. Robinson shifts from a split back to an I formation. Jones, 40. Jones to the 45-yard line. But Tennessee needed a lot for the 1st down. I said Jones. Number 33 is Jones. Number 32 carried the ball, and that's the freshman Charles Wilson. As Wilson now in this football game moves for the game. As you see the second look. 3rd down. Robinson. Long pass. It is touchdown, Big Orange, Tim McGee. yards for the touchdown. Robinson must have arched that pass really close to 70 yards. You'll see he takes a full drop. Good protection. Now steps up. Look at this throw. And look at this effort by Tim McGee, splitting the double coverage. Reads it in over his shoulder. Chalks up 6 more. His second touchdown catch. 2 TDs in this game. 6 this year for Tim McGee, a junior from Cleveland, Ohio, who very definitely could set a new season receiving record. Reves with the extra point. It splits them. There's time out of the field with the score. Tennessee 26, Vanderbilt nothing. Tennessee leads, and Vanderbilt has inserted Kurt Page at quarterback. Here's the give to the freshman Crawford as the fourth quarter gets underway, and Crawford slithers forward for a gain of 10 yards on the play. Kurt Page has not played in the game. He was injured in the Virginia Tech game 2 weeks ago. Vanderbilt had an open date last week. Ratcher has gone all the way. Now Page is into the lineup. His team behind 26-0. And Vandy moving. Page in Tennessee territory. The pass is complete. Right on target to Edwards for a gain of 9 yards on the play. Kurt Page, a senior from Nashville. 192 of 328 on the year, 2,294 yards in the year to lead the conference in yardage. And there's the leading receiver in the number of catches, Keith Edwards. Vanderbilt trailing 26-0, but the Commodores are moving with that football. Crawford trying for the first down. He's got it and then some. Crawford right up the middle for 12 yards, and Vanderbilt will have it first down and 10 to go. A second look at the effort by Crawford. 5'11", 180. Vanderbilt moves deeper and deeper into Tennessee territory. As you go to ground level to see the Vanderbilt team break from the huddle to the line at the 13. Trailing 26-0, but lots of time left to go. Vanderbilt has outscored its opponents decisively in the fourth quarter throughout the season. Page pass complete. Good effort defensively. Who was that? The catch was made by Joe Kelly, and the defender was Andre Kramer, the cornerback. Page, confident, experienced quarterback. Kelly, and look, Kramer dodges a block and makes the blocking stop. Excellent effort by the freshman Andre Kramer. But Vanderbilt still definitely moving with the football. Handoff. There's the catapulting Crawford for a gain of 5 yards on the play. And it has moved down to about the 6-yard line of the Volunteers. Let's take a second look from the end zone. There's that cutback. 51, McKenzie, defending for Tennessee, but Vanderbilt will have the ball third down. The score is 26-0, Tennessee leading. Vanderbilt with it at the Volunteer 6-yard line. Tennessee adjusts defensively. Page. Pass, it's incomplete. Defending was Andre Kramer for Tennessee, as Kelly was the intended receiver. Good coverage by Kramer. And so now Vanderbilt trailing 26-0, fourth down and 3 yards for the first. Page reverses, Scott, touchdown. The experience of two seniors who have played together a long time, and you can just see it right there as Page set up looking to the right. We'll take a look right here from the end zone. Then he just reverses. He knew where he was going all the time, and so did Scott. And Scott just gets to the corner ahead of Victor Peppers for the touchdown. And Vanderbilt is on the board. 78 yards, 11 plays. And in to attempt the extra point will be Anderson. 26-6. The extra point is up high, and it is good. There's timeout on the field with the score. Tennessee 26, Vanderbilt 7. After an exchange of punts, we pick up the action with Vanderbilt trailing 26-7 and Kurt Page at quarterback, deep in Vanderbilt territory. Back to throw, pumps the pass. Oh, it's dropped out in the open field by Edwards. The senior, Keith Edwards from Willitson, Florida, hasn't dropped many. Vanderbilt battling at the 31-yard line. This drive began back at the 9, actually. Page's pass is overthrown. It was intended that time for Scott. And it will be third down. Tennessee leading 26-7. Page setting up with time. The pass complete. Scott. And Scott, who had caught 47 passes for 854 yards coming into the game, makes another reception. Chuck Scott, 24 yards on that pass play. Tennessee with a 3-man rush, unable to get to Page, and with time, he picks up his primary receiver, Chuck Scott, and Vanderbilt is moving with the ball. It'll be first down, 10 to go. To the Volunteer 46-yard line. Page. Complete. Jim Pop, his first catch of the year, his 28th of the season, of the game, his 28th of the season. And Vanderbilt on this play picks up 9 yards. The Vanderbilt offensive line, a veteran line, schooled well in the skills of pass protection, pass blocking. Spinning the right side, trying for the first down and getting it, will be Woods. Woods at the corner, gets a nice block there, turns, inside, roll down, but Vanderbilt has moved for the first down. Vanderbilt trails 26-0. Kurt Page certainly has made a change or a difference in the way this offense clicks. Page sees it open, will run. Page out of bounds as he steps inside the Volunteer 10-yard line. Kurt Page, who suffered a separated shoulder in the game with Virginia Tech, seeing action after Vanderbilt falls behind 26-0, and look at this effort. Hugging the sideline out of bounds at the 8. It's going to be first down and goal, Vanderbilt. First down, number 17. Page, pass, touchdown, Commodore. Joe Kelly, his 7th touchdown reception of the year. Page watches him slanting into the end zone. The catch is made. And Vanderbilt is on the scoreboard again. Let's take a third look. What coverage the UTV cameramen give you throughout this year. Certainly football fans appreciate 5 camera people who know exactly what they're doing, technically, and in the game of football as well. Outstanding, outstanding coverage. Vanderbilt's going to try for the 2-point play. It's no good. Scott defended well by Peppers. Basically the play on which the first touchdown was scored. And this time Peppers is right on top as the freshman continues to mature in one of the toughest positions in football, the cornerback. Peppers and Kramer filling in for some other young defenders for Tennessee, Brown and Sims, who've been injured pretty much throughout this season. As a matter of fact, the Volunteers have had a lot of people hurt. 4 starters defensively lost for the season along the way, as here comes that onside kick attempt. Oh, it's a beautiful kick, and it is great, great play. Let's see who got that ball. Anderson trying the onside kick, and it's Joey Clinkscales. That was an outstanding play. Could have been the play of the game right there, as Vanderbilt certainly is picking up momentum, but it's Clinkscales with a leaping grab, and Tennessee on the onside try has it first down 10 at the Volunteer 49. Vanderbilt's hanging tough defensively. Howard tries the middle. Fitz is there, 22, and I think perhaps on the other side was Jordan. Tennessee now will, of course, use all the clock it can, leading by a score of 26-13. Tennessee coming into the game 6-3-1 en route to the Sun Bowl. Vanderbilt 5-5. Both teams 2-3 in the Southeastern Conference. Robinson, Howard, stumbling forward past midfield for a gain of right at 2 yards. And so Tennessee leading by 13 points. This is a big play right here. If Tennessee has to give up possession again with over 6 minutes to go, Vanderbilt very definitely could get back into that game. Everybody up on the line. Here's Robinson. High, long pass, laying it out there. Yes! Tim McGee. Tim McGee getting man-to-man coverage, and that is tough for the defender. Sykes actually doing a pretty good job. But look at Robinson just laying it up, asking McGee to run under the ball, which he does. That was an outstanding catch over the shoulder with the defender right on his back. And Tim McGee does indeed become the career leader for Tennessee as far as passes caught in a single season is concerned. Tim McGee, he is a junior from Cleveland, Ohio, and a class individual and receiver. Tennessee trying to sweep. It's Johnny Jones running out of room. Tackled by Manuel Young. Not much there for Jones, but he did take away several seconds sweeping to the left side. Tennessee leads by a score of 26-13. Vanderbilt will take 2 scores to get into the game. And Tennessee has Tony Robinson using all the time he can off the play clock. Robinson's pass is incomplete. Out of bounds. Not only is the pass incomplete, but it stops the clock. Tim McGee helps the defender back to his feet on the far side, that being Fawn Anderson. So it's third down for Tennessee in Vandy territory in the fourth quarter. Johnny Jones, 22 carries, 124 yards for Jones, who came into the game with a total of 1,171 yards this year. Tennessee will get Reveiz in. Sells sees something he doesn't like, probably in the way Tennessee had aligned itself, so he asked for the timeout. Reveiz will be attempting a 29-yard field goal. 3 minutes, 25 seconds to go. This is a big play right here. Vanderbilt with big play potential. If the field goal is missed, a long pass, an onside kick, who knows? Reveiz. That is up, and that is good. It is now a 16-point game, 29-13. It is conceivable that Vanderbilt with 2 scores could tie with the 2-point conversion after each. But that was a big field goal by Reveiz, his 20th of the 1984 campaign. Tennessee will play Maryland in the Sun Bowl. Earlier this year, Vanderbilt won over the Atlantic Coast Conference champions as Vanderbilt opened with 4 straight wins this year, including a victory over Alabama. Kickoff picked up. That's a good effort by Witherspoon. And Witherspoon then is drilled as he gets back upfield. And that was Messimer, 46, was one, I think, also Welsh helping out. Page will be at quarterback, the senior, concluding his career. Played about 1 quarter in this game as he sat out the first 3 with the injury. Page. It's complete to Scott. Gain of 20 yards on the play. Tennessee really deployed in a very deep prevent defense, leading 29-13. Vanderbilt without a huddle, conserving as much of the time as possible. hoping for a miracle in Nashville as Page sets up in trouble, breaks free, runs, gets a block from Scott as he skips out of bounds. And Vanderbilt will see Page pick up 2 yards on the play, but most important, he stops the clock. Vandy has 19 first downs in this game. Page, oh, it's dropped. It was intended for Crawford. Zander defending against him, the senior from Mendham, New Jersey. Third down, Vandy. Ratcher has come in on that play right there. It's Ratcher. There's that shovel Utah pass underneath, and making the reception and running forward with it will be Crawford. Vandy has used that play for the past 6 seasons quite a bit, and here it's executed perfectly as Tennessee in that prevent defense has a lot of people playing 8-10 yards off the line of scrimmage, and Vanderbilt counters with that underhand shovel pass. Well, a first down, 10 to go. Ratcher. Oh, he completes the pass this time on target. And the reception is made by a senior from Knoxville, Bullen. So Vanderbilt has another first down. Tennessee leads 29-13, trying to hold on for victory number 7. Pass. It's caught by Bullen again. He was racked up as he made the catch by Cofer. But that catch by Bullen is good for 5 yards. And it will be 2nd down and 5 for Vandy. Fighting the clock, the Tennessee defense, and a 16-point deficit. Ratcher, shovel pass again. This is Woods. And Woods comes ambling forward for a gain on the play of 14 yards. A second look from the end zone, and you'll see how the play develops. That back takes an extra count, sets up behind the offensive guard on the right side, and that time scampers for 14 yards, and Vanderbilt trailing by 16 has time. Certainly get another score on the board. It's Page back in there. The long pass is incomplete, out of bounds. It was intended for Scott. Tennessee had it well played that time by Kramer. 2nd down. Incomplete. That time it's Bullen, and that time it's Kramer defending. Tennessee 29-13. That play used 4 seconds. Page, shovel, Crawford, Cooper. Penalty marker drop. I said Cooper, I meant Simmons. 97, not 77, and Simmons stayed home and made the play perfectly. Holding Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt, last dying gasp. Page. Long pass into the end zone is incomplete. We'll be back to talk to Coach Johnny Majors in just 1 minute.
With Tennessee head football coach Johnny Majors after the Volunteers close out the regular season with a victory over Vanderbilt. Coach Majors, another impressive offensive day for the Volunteers.
Well, I don't know what the final statistics were, and really I don't care right now. The most important statistic was the final score, and I'm very proud of the way our team performed both ways. When we shut out Vanderbilt the first half, I thought was a very impressive display of our defensive play and improvement we made the last month. Of course, the offense controlled the ball quite a bit the first half and did some excellent things the second half to keep Vanderbilt from getting too close to us. I think it was just an all-around excellent ball game, and we're excited about the way we finished the season.
Johnny Jones had a touchdown run in the first half. I don't know if you could ever see a more spectacular run, or one with greater effort than the one Johnny Jones had.
It was a great effort, Bob. I know that it looked like he was stopped there momentarily by maybe 2 or 3 people. And sometimes I can't tell how many, but 2 or 3 people. And he bounced out of there and made a tremendous second effort on his part. And a typical Johnny Jones effort with an outstanding body lean, which he has. And Johnny runs with good strength. and our team held on to the ball much better today. That was the difference between this week and last week.
And a couple good efforts by Tony Robinson, who became the single-season total offensive leader at Tennessee, and Tim McGee, the single-season reception leader. And McGee made 2 great catches for touchdowns.
Oh, yeah, I'll tell you one thing. The long touchdown was terrific. He's such a smooth receiver. I've never seen one quite like him, Bob. And we've had some great receivers at Tennessee and the other 2 places I've coached. This young man he may be as good as it's come along, period, anywhere. And the play he made to give us a chance at the last field goal down that sideline, the sun was in his face a little bit. He did a subtle job of acting and not looking to the last second to keep the defender from putting his hands up. That was tremendous play, and an outstanding pass by Tony also. I couldn't be more pleased to see him break those records, because both of them have earned it. They're both outstanding, great players. And if they break him, I'd like to see them break him on a victory.
Tennessee was leading 26-0. Suddenly Vanderbilt put Kurt Page in. They scored a couple of touchdowns. But Tennessee was playing really with 6 defensive backs, and you just didn't want to give it the big play, I guess. Yeah,
a little conservative, but frankly speaking, the worst thing you can do is go into maybe some man-to-man coverage right there and not play a 3-deep sound defense, because if they hit you with a big one, a quick one, they're back in the game, gives a lot of life with several minutes to go. We decided to give them nothing easy, make them work for it, and they did a heck of a job. And Page did, coming back maybe for 92 yards in the last drive. But we felt like they couldn't win the ball game unless they got a big play or 2 on us.
I guess you have to be happy with the way the team bounced back after the disappointment last week.
Well, Bob, in my coaching career and in any place we've been, I don't believe we've ever failed to bounce back. Doesn't mean we've always won the second ball game after we've lost, but we've always bounced back because we believe in that strongly. And 2 things in life that you got to try to handle. Number 1 is success. That's really terrific, and I'd like to try that again. But number 2 is handling your downfalls. And by gosh, we can always fight back, and we'll work on handling our success when we win them all.
What about Sun Bowl preparations now? What will the team be doing?
They'll take off this next week. We'll give them all week off because they'll be starting final examinations, and the timing is very good. They're going to have the weekend off and come back when they want to start final examinations. They'll have no responsibilities in football. The staff will all hit the road recruiting, and then we'll come back a week from Monday and start preparations for the Sun Bowl, which is a terrific bowl. I hope our Tennessee fans will go, because it's a terrific place to go to and a classy bowl. And we're going to be playing maybe as good a football team as there is in the country right now in Maryland. So we'll resume practice a week at home, and then we'll leave on Sunday prior to the bowl game on the 22nd.
Coach Majors, congratulations to you and your staff to a big victory, and the players, of course, with the win over Vanderbilt today.
Thank you, Bob. It's a beautiful day, and I tell you what, we're going to get back to Knoxville early. It's going to be a lovely drive back on Interstate 40 from Nashville to Knoxville. We'll get back almost by dark.
That's right. Enjoy it, Coach.
I am.
Coach Johnny Majors. Today, the Volunteers beat Vanderbilt. Back to talk with Tennessee players in just a moment. After today's victory over the Vanderbilt Commodores, one of those being Johnny Jones, who became the SEC's leading rusher with today's game. Congratulations, Johnny, and I guess the one thing to talk to you about is the big touchdown run in the second period.
Oh, yes, I really feel great about that, but I really got to give a lot of it to the offensive line, especially for SEC again, twice in a row, so I really have to say a lot to them.
I think on the 57-yard touchdown run, about 4 or 5 guys had a shot at you, didn't they?
Oh, yeah. They're pretty tough one while, They just had to fight it all out.
You seem to have good games against Vanderbilt. Last year, over 200 yards. This year, over 100 yards. Anything special about Vandy for you?
No, just really, I guess I'd really be up for that one, especially because the last game, you always want to go out, the best you can.
And I guess you got to be happy in the team for the way you guys bounced back after last week.
We are, because everyone really was down because of the real heartbreaker last week. So, we just want to come back and prove to ourselves and everyone else, we didn't give up. We're not going to give up.
Tennessee senior linebacker Carl Sanders with us. Carl, really the defense came out and shut the door on Vandy till the 4th period.
Yeah, we did. I think we did some good things, but Vandy's attack is very complex and it's very good. And they just kept coming at us and hit us in a few spots later in the game where we were actually allowing them to give them to.
4 times, Vandy starts within their 10-yard line. It's easy to play defense when they're backed up in it.
Yeah, it sure is. Anytime you've got a team backed up with their back against the wall, you can go in and play 3 downs, get the offense some good field position, and it just leaves them a long ways to go to score a touchdown.
People would look and say, well, it was 26-0. Vandy came back, but really you're just playing not to give up the big play, right?
I think that was probably it. We didn't play as well the 4th quarter as we should have defensively, but we were our plan was to give them the short pass at that time. We figured they had to go the length of the field, and as long as we didn't give up the big play, that we could hold them down.
Good way to bounce back after last week, huh?
Yeah, it is. Last week, we played okay defensively sometimes, and then sometimes not. Today, I thought we played pretty well the whole day.
Tennessee defensive back Andre Kramer. Andre, tell us about some of the things Vandy did well and some of the things Tennessee did well today.
Well, I think they threw the short patterns well on us. We were trying to stop them from going deep outs and the post corners, and so we were giving up the short plays. They ran the short patterns well on us. We tried to keep them from scoring when we got down close. Tennessee, we played a good defense all around. We stopped the run. We shut down the passing game. The way they really wanted to go deep on us, but they couldn't because we played, good defense on them. So they had to settle for the short game, and time ran out on them.
You played a lot of times with 6 defensive backs back there, just trying to shut them down.
Yeah, we went with a dime package. Vic and I playing flats, and they had deep third behind us, and it seemed to work. They had settled for the middle area, which Joe and Zan did a good job.
This is Tennessee quarterback Tony Robinson. Tony, we were just talking a second ago about the big touchdown pass to McGee. You said you just sort of eased up on it a little bit.
Yes, I just, I just threw it up there and let him run up under. I thought it was too short at first, but once he caught the ball, he started sprinting down the field. I was real happy about that.
You only threw it 70 yards, you know that.
Well, it was just a little something. Hopefully, I can have a lot more of those in the future.
I guess that's, one of the fun plays, just to air it out and let somebody run under it like that?
Yeah, quick touchdown, get our offense off the field and get the defense back out there. But, we'll take those quick 6 anytime.
Tennessee's offense today, very efficient. You didn't make many mistakes.
No, we didn't. One time I got a little greedy and went for one, but I threw an interception. But, I just had to overlook that and just come back and get some more points on the board.
So lots of time you got the individual single coverage, and you were able to take advantage of it, especially to Tim McGee.
Yes, they were playing 3 deep, trying to disguise their 3 deep, and they were just, out. Just kind of weak out there in the flats, and we just took advantage of it out there with McGee and Icos and Swanson.
Tim McGee became the single-season reception leader for Tennessee with a couple of big touchdown catches tossed in. Congratulations, Tim.
Thanks, Bob. It was just a great job, and I had to give my coaches thanks. And they gave me the opportunity to break the record, and I just went out and did it.
Tony threw him out there for you. You had to run under him and catch him, right?
Oh, definitely. He did a great job today. He put the ball exactly where a receiver wants it, and it's just, you had the easy part, just catching the ball.
It was, I guess, one of Tony's better days, the fact his passes right on target, weren't they?
Oh, definitely. He'd been having some up and down games, and coming into this game, he had a bad game against Kentucky, a lot of people said. And, he wanted to build up his morale going to the Sun Bowl, and he just had an excellent day. Excellent. He just threw the ball so well. I think only one time the interception was the only time he had a letdown through the whole day.
Well, you didn't have a bad day yourself.
Well, they threw me the ball, and it was just a matter of me catching it, and I just did the best I could.
So now Tennessee has a chance to regroup and rest up a bit before they head to El Paso for the Sun Bowl. This is Bob Kessler reporting from Dudley Field, Nashville. John Ward back with closing comments in just a moment.
The story that Tennessee has rolled to the victory over Vanderbilt in Nashville. The Volunteers conclude the 1984 regular season 7-3-1, heading to the Sun Bowl December the 22nd for the game with Maryland. Vanderbilt concludes its season 5-6 in the Southeastern Conference. Tennessee 3-3. Vanderbilt finishes at 2-4. With this being the last UTV telecast of the 1984 football season, we want to thank the sponsors who have made everything possible. Each Tennessee Football 84 telecast has been brought to you